What's the best way to call somebody the C word?
Andrew, are you trying to call me a cunt? Why didn't you just do it yourself? Oh, I know why, because I can think of a different C word, and that C word is coward, because you didn't even tag me in this video. And imagine calling an Asian American woman a cunt and deliberately mispronouncing her name in a video over and over again during AANHPI Heritage Month. That's okay though. Let's be honest, let's call this what it is. You don't give a shit about any of this. You're just using this to promote your music, your musical, whatever, I don't even know. You're shamelessly plugging your shit and using me to do it. I get it. This is how social media is. I understand. But I will say this. Maybe if your music was better, you wouldn't have to use me to promote it. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about this video. In this video, you're coming after me because you're saying I'm doing what I always speak out against, which is not properly crediting the culture from which a certain, ethnic or cultural food comes from. And in this case, we're talking about bagels. And you're saying that I've said for years that you cannot make food if you're not from a certain culture. You're not allowed to change foods from a certain culture. I've never said anything like that. In fact, I've said things to the contrary. I've said, try new foods, experiment with foods, have fun with food. I don't know who gave you that information because I don't think you've actually ever seen my content, but they were wrong. But what I have said is that if you're going to make foods from other cultures, I think it's important to credit the people from which that food came. And a very simple way of doing that is by calling the food the same thing that the people from that culture call it. And in this case, we're talking about bagels. I know that in Yiddish, bagel is bagel. But I will say, I wish I had said these are a variation or this is an adaptation of a traditional bagel. It's different than a bagel. I do wish I had said that. So to anybody watching, I'm sorry I did not make that distinction. That's on me. I should have done it. But I will say, even though you made this cowardly bitch ass video, I'm actually kind of glad you did because it sent me down this historic rabbit hole about bagels that I kind of knew the history, but I didn't know it as in depth as I do now. So really, thank you. Learning the history of bagels was so interesting to me. And like so many of the foods I've talked about, bagels are one of those foods that were born out of necessity, ingenuity, and creativity to circumvent certain circumstances. And in this case, in the 17th century, Polish Jewish people were not allowed to bake bread. So as a means to circumvent this, they started boiling the bread before they baked it. And somehow that was a loophole enough for them to be able to, make and sell, bagels. So when they came to the United States in the 19th century, they brought bagels with them. And I found that so incredibly interesting. And that's really all I've ever wanted people to do is just learn a little bit about the food that you're eating. And I promise you, you're going to learn so much. And hopefully if you do, you can gain a better understanding of those people. I think it's so amazing that Jewish people are like, okay, we can't bake bread because of these fuck ass laws. So what can we do? Let's find a way around it. And they did. And now bagels are one of the most popular, ubiquitous foods, in North America. And I think that's awesome. I think that's fucking amazing. Really, Alex, I want to thank you. Thank you for making this video. I mean, cowardly as it was, because now I have a better understanding of where bagels came from. And I'm so happy to know that now. And good luck with your music career. I hope for you that one day people actually give a shit about it. And you don't have to use my face to promote it.